Hey guys, how's it going? This is YouTube Vids. I wanted to keep this video short, guys. I know that people have been asking for us to get back into doing some Tecmo Bowl sims. Now, just so that you're aware, as you can see on the screen, we have a list of the today's current 32 NFL teams, whereas in the actual Tecmo Bowl um, release version back from 1991, that ROM or cartridge, whatever you want to call it, it only had, it had whatever teams were available then. Well, there is a place on the internet, tecmobowl.org, where they actually hack that ROM and essentially injected in the 32 NFL teams, and they do that every year. So Tecmo Bowl has, again, such a huge following still to this day. People love playing that game. So not only do they hack in all these teams, they also hack in all the players as well. So, or I shouldn't say hack in, but essentially they replace the players that were already on each team, and then they essentially go through and modify them, just like you would see in Madden every year, or what Madden does every year. So, in a sense, so I have a 2018-2019 version of Tecmo Super Bowl that has, again, all of the current teams and all of the current players. Now, I will say, just so that everyone's aware of what some of these videos are going to look like, one quick thing about the rosters. So with the rosters, all I've managed to go through and do is make sure that the starting QBs are who the starting QBs are. There's been some different moves made over the season so far where players going to different teams and stuff like that. I'm not touching any of that. They don't release updates for that throughout the season, as best I can tell. They only had one at the beginning of the season, so this is how the teams looked at the beginning of the season. Like I said, all I did was for any team where the QB has changed since what it was at the beginning of the season, that change has been made. One other thing to look out for, guys, is if you are subject to epileptic seizures, like from seeing like fast moving like weird stuff on the screen, I'm gonna just throw this warning out to you now that because of the fact that the ROM's hacked, there are some goofy things with the graphics that take place. Not when the game is actually being played, but during transitions between the quarters and stuff like that, and when players score touchdowns or they kick field goals. There's a lot of goofy stuff that goes on, so just be aware of that. So I mean, if you are subject to those epileptic seizures, you may want to not watch these, or make sure that you look away after they score touchdowns or kick field goals. So I wanted to make you aware of that. The third thing I wanted to make you aware of as well, guys, is also with the hack ROM, they give you the ability to actually change the duration of the game, the duration of each quarter. So no longer are you stuck with just 5-minute quarters. In this case, I've changed the quarters to 8-minute quarters instead of 5. So we have a few more extra minutes per quarter for Tecmo Bowl. So the games work out to be about a half hour or so, approximately, per game. So some good content, a lot of back and forth, a lot more scoring and stuff like that, or more defensive plays, however you want to look at it. So yeah. So and the way I'm going to go through this, guys, typically we go AFC, NFC, and go back and forth. I'm not going to do that this time around. I'm just going to first go through all the AFC games, at least round one, then do NFC round one, and vice versa. So we're going to stick with that approach this time around, see how that goes. But I hope you guys look forward to these new Tecmo Super Bowl sims, guys.